this video is not going to be about cancer. It's just going to be about what I've been doing over the last few weeks, in case you're interested. Not sure why you would be, but anyway. Life in Japan. So for the past 3 weeks, my parents have been visiting from the UK. The sound you can hear in the background is my son playing Super Mario Kart on Super Famicom, which is a bit like, well, it's just the SNES that was released in Japan. So it's a 16-bit games console. This was kindly given to me by my dear friend Akiba. So, for the past 3 weeks, my parents have been here. They left today, and the main thing is we had a trip to Osaka. So I live in Tokyo. I live in the western part of Tokyo, kind of suburb of Tokyo actually, and this is my first time to kind of manage to have a trip since the cancer diagnosis last year. So it was basically between chemotherapy treatments. So I have chemotherapy every 2 weeks, and went to Osaka for it's like 5 days, and we went on a bullet train. We got the cheapest, slowest one, which takes like almost 4 hours. From Tokyo to Osaka, because it just stops everywhere, but it's still very, very pleasant compared to the trains I've spent most of my life on in England. Just clean and comfortable and lovely and efficient and just wonderful. So the main reason to go to Osaka, or there are 2 reasons. One was to see my friend Jim, who lives in Osaka. And another reason was to see my friends Reiko and Ernesto, who live in Kyoto, which is pretty close to Osaka. So I'm going to bore you with some details of my Osaka trip, because I am fundamentally a very boring person, and I take great pleasure in boring others. So I went to Osaka with my parents and my wife and my 2 children, and it was our first time to try Airbnb. I'm a huge fan of the so-called unicorn companies like Airbnb and the evil Uber, and more than that, I'd say companies like eBay and PayPal, which I guess is technically a part of eBay. It's definitely set up by eBay. I'm a big fan of these companies that get all this bad media attention. I might do another video on why I like them so much. But suffice it to say, yes, they do lots of terrible things. However, they destroy oppressive, monopolistic systems those systems that basically I don't want to say they make life bad for people, but they prevent things being as good as they could be. So Uber and is it Lyft? I guess they destroy the taxi industry, which is a jolly good thing, because those taxis and Uber provide cheap accommodation for people like me. Money's very, very tight for me, because all my money goes on cancer treatment. So to be able to rent an apartment for a few days instead of staying in a hotel was, it's a massive thing when there's 6 of you and you've got young kids, and to have like an apartment with a proper kitchen and living room makes a huge difference. there are positive and negative effects that something like Airbnb have on the hotel industry, and it's fine, really. A few minutes after we booked the Airbnb, I wanted to check out the place where we were staying just because I wanted to tell my friend Jim where it was, and I discovered that the apartment was in one of Japan's 3 slums. So Japan has a slum in Tokyo near a place called Ueno. Japan has a slum in Yokohama, kind of a big slum area, and Japan has a slum in Osaka. And our Airbnb place was in a slum. Now, of course, being in Japan, even the slums are nice. Because everywhere I've been in Japan is really nice. So I was staying in this apartment in this area full of lots of homeless people, but also a lot of these day labourers. So they're living in what in England I guess we would call a doss house. So these are places where you can get a room for, I guess, the equivalent of like £6 a night or $10, something like that. And they wake up early in the morning and go to these pickup points where someone will turn up with a minibus and say, I need 30 workers to come and work on this construction site. And of course, there's 200 people waiting for these jobs or whatever. But it's still pleasant, nice, safe, clean. And I mean, this was a slum. You know? So that was interesting. Had a day in Nara, which is I think Nara was one of the old capitals of Japan before Tokyo became the capital, I think. And in Nara there's a big wooden Buddha. It's actually bigger than the Buddha in Kamakura, although the Kamakura Buddha is bronze, I guess, or maybe even copper. The one in Nara was wooden, but it was seriously big and quite impressive, even if you're not interested in big Buddhas. And the area we went to in Nara is famous for these deer that are very comfortable around people, it would seem. So you can go and buy this deer rice crackers and feed that, not made of deer, but for feeding to the deer. It's a famous touristy place, but yeah, enjoyed it a lot. And then we went to, on another day, went to Kyoto to see my friends Reiko and Ernesto. Not sure what game that is. You can hear in the background if the microphone is picking up the audio. There's some role-playing Zelda-like game in the background. But anyway, a day in Kyoto. And it was raining that day a bit, but it was still okay. And we went to a monkey park, which is kind of interesting because it's like this up this mountain thing where 130 macaque monkeys live. It's, Japanese monkeys that you often see them on TV relaxing in the hot springs, and they're in this area, and you could feed the monkeys, but you couldn't kind of feed them outside. So it's kind of interesting. The humans went into this cage thing, and you could feed the monkeys through the cage, but you were in the cage. The monkeys were free to run around, which is kind of interesting. So that was a lot of fun as well. And yeah, it was just nice to be in Osaka. Different from Tokyo, hard to explain why. I'd been to Osaka a couple of times before, but it's hard to explain why it's difficult. It's definitely more laid back. The people look in less of a hurry. But just you could really feel you were not in Tokyo. So when I was on the subway in Osaka, it felt different from the Tokyo subway, although it's quite hard to point out specific differences. Just the atmosphere was quite different. And yeah, very nice place to be. Really nice to try Airbnb. I'll definitely try it again. And it was a nice trip, and the Shinkansen was wonderful, because trains in Japan are just wonderful, as they should be everywhere. Really, there's no excuse. People in other countries with bad trains could just come to Japan, look at the trains, write everything down, and go back and implement a decent train system. No reason not to, no excuse. So that was my boring tale of 5 days in Osaka, with a day including 3 days in Osaka, and a day in Nara and a day in Kyoto. More videos coming soon. And if you can, my website for the cancer treatment fundraising is www.matthewdons.org. That's MATTHEWDONS.org. Thanks.